Problem 21, we have a system of inequalities and we want to put them in slope-intercept form so we can graph them and find the solution. So let's start with this one up here. 3x minus 2y is greater than or equal to 4. I'm going to begin by moving the 3x's over to the right side and switching the sign, of course. So we'll get a minus 2y is greater than or equal to minus 3x plus 4. Right, I just took these 3x's on the left, put them on the right. Now we divide everything by minus 2. And when we do, we're going to have to reverse the sign. Very important not to forget that step. So this is going to be y is now less than or equal to. This will actually turn into a positive 3 over 2, right? Because a negative 3 divided by negative 2 is going to give me positive 3 over 2x, 1.5. And then a plus 4 divided by a minus 2 is going to give me a minus 2. So that one's ready to graph. This one up here, really simple. All we need to do is move the x over and that's it. So it'll be y is less than or equal to minus x plus 3. So we're ready to graph now. And here's the origin right here. So looking at this first equation here, y-intercept is minus 2, so we'll go down 2. Slope is 3 over 2, so you're going up 3 over 2. There's my point. It will be a solid line because it's less than or equal to, not just less than. So I'm going to take my ruler and connect those dots as best I can. Alright, there we go. Second equation was y is less than or equal to negative x plus 3. So now the y-intercept is plus 3. What's the slope of minus x? Well, that's like minus 1x, right? So we're just going down 1 over 1. And that's where this line is going to be. Okay. So with inequalities, there's one other thing we have to do. We have to find which one of these regions is the solution going to be in. And if we look at our equations here, y is less than or equal to 3x minus 2. That was this line. And if you think about it, okay, so for just this line, the solution region is going to be here below the line. Okay? And then we look at this one, y is less than or equal to negative x plus 3. If we're looking at just this line, the solution set is going to be below it in this region over here. And then we just have to ask the question, okay, where do those two regions overlap? And it's right here. That's where the regions overlap. So that's where the solution set is going to be. Now, something you can do, although students are very resistant to it, they shouldn't be. If I want to make sure let's say I want to make sure that that shaded region's right. I'm going to pick a point in the region, this point right here. And I don't know if you can see it really well, but that point is the point 2, 0. Okay? 2, 0. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this point into both of these equations and see if I get something that makes sense. Okay? So let's think about this. 2 times 3 over 2 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, so I would have 0, because remember, y is just 0, is less than or equal to 1. Does that make sense? The answer is yes, it does. Okay, now over here, again, I'll plug in a 0 for y. Y is going to be 0. That's why I picked the coordinate I did, by the way. If you can pick a coordinate with a 0 in it, do it. Now I plug in 2 for x. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. Is 1 greater than or equal to 0? And the answer is yes. Okay, so that's going to be a solution for that system of inequalities. All right, coming over here to problem 23. Same kind of thing, except it's going to be a little bit more difficult to put these in slope-intercept form, but not too bad, right? So we've got x plus 5y is less than 15. Okay, we'll move the x's over like we did, and I'll get negative x plus 15. And now we need to divide, so I'm just looking at this top equation. I should have put the equation side by side like I usually do. Just divide everything by 5. We don't have to reverse the inequality sign because we're dividing by a positive number. And so what we're going to end up with is y is less than, I'm going to write it as negative 1/5 x. Like I usually do, because then I can see what the slope is more clearly. And then I'm going to add 3 onto it. Okay, so we're done with that one. That wasn't too bad. Over here, we're going to begin by moving the 3 x's to the right. Okay, so we just change the sign, put them on the right side, add 8, and now divide everything by 2. And once again, we're not going to have to reverse the inequality because we're dividing by a positive number. So we get y is less than or equal to negative 3 over 2x plus 4. Okay, so now we're going to try to graph this. And we'll start with this guy here, negative 1/5 x plus 3 again. Here's the origin. Plot the y-intercept. I dropped my ruler. Hold on real quick. I need to get a protractor here. And the slope is negative 1/5, right? So that means I'm going down 1 and to the right 5. This is going to be a dotted line, right? Because this is just less than. Okay, so I'm going to dot my line. Okay, there we go. There's that line. Now we got this next one, negative 3 over 2x plus 4. So we're going all the way up to 4 now. But now we've got a slope of negative 3 over 2, so we're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 2. This one will be a solid line because it's less than or equal to, so we're going to have a solid line there. And now again, we come to what's probably the most challenging part for some students is, figuring out which region to shade. We've got 4 options. But if we think about it like we did last time, this line was right here, less than, so I'd be shading below it. This is also less than, so I'd be shading below this line. And where do those 2 shaded regions overlap? And it's this section right here, which has my favorite test point. If I wanted to test, it has the test point 0, 0. I love 0, 0. It's so easy. I can just look at it. Is 0 less than 3? Yes. Is 0 less than or equal to 4? Yes. So that's the correct region.